All right, let's get a little cold start going in. Don't mind the check engine light. I'm in the process of getting retuned, but sheesh. Definitely not quiet. FRS, you know, BRZ, I don't know what will, but yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And I think a lot of you guys probably anticipated this video to be made. Now, I think it's kind of the obligatory video you have to make every single time that you boost any type of platform. You gotta voice your opinions on, you know, was it worth it? Are you enjoying it? And if other people who are on the fence of boosting their platform should go ahead and do it. Now, I'm just going to get it out the way right now. I'm not going to be doing too hard of pulls because I'm currently in the middle of a retuning phase. So that's why my check engine light's on. The car drives perfectly fine, but like I said, I'm still not going to be getting into too hard of pulls. And also, it is wet and rainy outside. I'm just going to be spinning, so there's no reason to do that. We're going to have a chill little discussion here, talk about, you know, some important topics on if it is worth it to boost your FA20. Now, I was that person that was on the fence, man. I really did not think I was going to boost my car. Honestly, I didn't really care about boosting my car probably up until probably 2.5 months ago. Now, the reason I went ahead and boosted my car is because I actually ran into somebody who had a boosted FA20. It was a boosted BRZ, and you guys have definitely seen it on the channel multiple times. That honestly was the deciding factor. I didn't really see one before, and once I did see it, I didn't even sit in it. I didn't drive in it. I didn't ride in it. Just to hear it, to see it, hear the turbo flutter, it was just one of those things like, okay, that's got to be me. I've got to turbo my car. Now, I feel like a lot of us who are on the fence of either boosting these cars or keeping them stock or just selling them, you know, are wondering, you know, is it reliable and is it worth it? Is it actually, you know, fun to drive? Now, I'm gonna go ahead and give some backstory. Now, before I even actually ran into my buddy's boosted BRZ, I was on the fence of actually going ahead and keeping my car stock and actually looking for another, you know, project car. I was actually looking at, you know, a Mustang to go ahead and whip that around because I love Mustangs. I know some of you guys don't like them, but I personally love Mustangs, man. I love the 5.0, I love the 4.6. It doesn't matter. I love them. You know, they're really fun to drive. My first car was a Mustang. They're fun. They look nice. You know, I was honestly on the fence of going ahead and picking a Mustang up, but until I ran into that boosted 86 and started, you know, learning about more things about this car, I was like, you know what? I think I can have a lot of fun with a boosted, you know, FA20 motor in the FRS platform. And that's why I went ahead and did it. Now, the thing is, a lot of us who, you know, are on the fence of boosting it, I think are on the same page. I think a lot of us are kind of questioning, is it going to be worth it? Now, short answer, and I think a lot of us, you know, who have boosted their cars can agree to this, is that it is 110% worth it. When you guys get behind the wheel of a boosted FA20, you know, just hearing, you know, the turbo, the flutter, you know, the compressor surge, you know, just hearing the air getting sucked into the intake, it's intoxicating. It's insane. It's a feeling that, you know, I really cannot explain unless you either see it for yourself or experience it and drive it for yourself, or at least ride in it for yourself. Now, the funny thing, ooh, nice little pop right there. Now, the funny thing about, you know, my whole situation is I've actually never driven a boosted BRZ until outside of a boosted FRS, oh my gosh, until I actually went ahead and you know, my buddy picked me up to go pick up my car. So everything was new to me. It was a shell shock. It was just one of those things. It's like, it just hit me right in the face super quick. And honestly, I guess that kind of, you know, added to the excitement factor. Now, as far as power, the thing you should be realizing when you're boosting these cars is I would not really be focusing on power. I would just be focusing on, you know, what can you do with these platforms, you know, what can you do with them to make yourself, you know, enjoy it a lot more. Because honestly, I just love hearing the turbo flutter, I love hearing the surge, I love, you know, hearing the intake. Power numbers really aren't that big of a deal to me as of right now, because everything is new. I'm trying to take everything baby steps, and I feel that's something that people mistake when they go ahead and they try to boost their cars, or just, you know, build up a car in general, is they rush the build. They try to get everything done within like a 3-month period. And trust me, I'm an impatient person. I made this mistake. I went through 3 different catbacks in a month. So I understand, you know, the rush, you know, the urge of having to have everything done immediately. I understand that, but realistically, when you're trying to build up a car, when you're trying to experience and enjoy a platform, I think the whole process of that is going to be that extended build period. Now, I don't plan on turning up the boost on my car for at least another 6 months, next year for that matter. Right now, I'm only running 6 pounds of boost. My car is pushing 264 horsepower. Obviously, we're going to be pushing way more, but I'm enjoying the process. I'm enjoying the car for what it is right now, because you have to understand and you have to learn your platform before you go ahead and, you know, do drastic measures like, you know, adding enforced induction. Now, as far as supercharging, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to want to take everything baby steps. You're going to want to have to, you know, experience and learn everything as you go. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't do, especially with these cars, because I see a lot of people who will just rush their builds. Within like 3 months, they'll have wheels, tires, exhaust, you know, a tune, you know, stuff like that way too quickly, even though you can do all those things. But I feel like that's going to kind of kill the, you know, the experience, and it's going to, you know, make you kind of feel like, wow, you know, I did all this, but I only got this much. It's not like, you know, I did all this, I'm this far, you know. It's things that you kind of have to realize when you're going ahead and trying to boost these cars, or just do any type of modifications on these cars, is that it's a process. Do not rush the build, don't rush success, stuff like that. You want to take your time. Now, as far as, you know, reliability, it's all going to be down to, you know, who installs your car, who tunes your car, and how much boost you're going to be running. Now, obviously, I'm running, you know, very, very, very modest boost at 6 psi. The car, you know, I'm still on the stock clutch because I'm not running that much boost. My torque's only around 220. Like I said, my horsepower is around 264. You know, it's very, very modest, but it is incredibly, incredibly fun to drive because the car is so light. Things like that, you're gonna have to realize. You're gonna have to make sure you build up when, you know, when you're going ahead and, you know, boosting your car, or if you're thinking about boosting your car, is you're gonna want to make sure that if you are a first-time person, you know, adding turbos, you know, superchargers, if you're a first-time person, you know, going ahead and, you know, changing the clutch, stuff like that, you're gonna want to make sure you're setting up your car so it's not going to, you know, be out of its element. What I mean by that is, like, you're running too much power on the motor, you know, you're running too much power for the clutch, you're running too much power for the fuel injectors. A lot of things you have to realize when you're going ahead and boosting it as far as reliability wise. And I think that's kind of what kind of scares people away, is that, you know, they get power hungry, you know, they want to do all these things to their vehicle, and then, you know, they ultimately just kind of get scared because it's like, oh my god, all these things can go wrong if you boost it. I mean, yeah, things can go wrong, but if you just take it baby steps, you know, gradually increase the boost, build up your car as you increase the boost, not just throwing everything all at it at one time. Guys will have a lot more fun, you know, with this platform. And that's exactly why I wanted to make this video, because I kind of wanted to explain, you know, my thought process, you know, my idea going into everything, you know, as somebody who's, you know, never driven a turbo application, somebody who's never driven a boosted application, you know, supercharged, someone who's never even, you know, thought about boosting it until about 2.5 months ago. Wanted to go ahead and put my insight, because I know there's probably a lot of us, you know, that are thinking just like me, you know, is it worth it, you know? Are there headaches? Obviously there's headaches, you know. I'm in the retuning phase right now, but it's part of the process, you know. it's the game you're gonna play. But at the same time, it's an enjoyable game you're gonna play because, you know, there's things you have to get done, there's things you have to improve on,